Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. G.
My guy, Mr. G, man. He's got a book out called My Journey with Dr. Sebi, a powerful look into the life of one of the most important healers of our generation.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Mr. G?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to be here.
How'd you connect with Dr. Sebi?
It was, well, my sister was diagnosed with lupus about 8 years ago. So I found out in 2014. So I found out by mistake because my family didn't want to tell me because, you know, it wasn't until it got real bad. One of my nieces, Denise, she told me, it's so sad that we have to bury Auntie Eva soon. And I was like, I'm not ready to bury my sister. So I called her. I told her, yo, E, is this true? She was like, yeah. So I was like, we gonna beat this. So she already went through Western medicine, and she was like, nah, it's not. I'm already, because my family's Jehovah's Witness, my sisters. So, you know, no blood transfusion, no anything that's not natural. So I went online, I looked for alternative methods of healing, and Dick Gregory came up. He mentioned Dr. Sebi, and I was like, he said Dr. Sebi can cure anything. So you know how when you on YouTube and then you have a suggested videos on the side, Dr. Sebi was right there, Eat to Live. So I clicked on it. He said I can cure AIDS, lupus, sickle cell anemia. I just heard lupus, and I said I gotta go to Honduras. I live in.
You're from Honduras, though. Yeah.
I live 6 miles away from this man in Honduras. Drive by his house all the time. Had no idea what he can do.
Wow.
So I'm on my way to his house. So Usha, when you get to Usha, it's a big gate. You can't just walk in there. You have to know somebody.
What is Usha?
Usha Village.
Okay.
That's where Dr. Sebi lives.
Okay.
I get there. I'm trying to get inside. The gates, the guards don't let me in. So I did that for 4 days in a row. 4 days in a row. The 5th day, I just dropped down on my knees at home, and I said, I prayed to my ancestors. I was like, if this man is going to kill my sister, please help me. So the next day, I get a inbox on Facebook, and it's a young lady. She said, oh, Mr. G, I see what you do at the Wendy Williams show, and I like the pictures that you take. If you're ever in Honduras, can you please come by my family business? And I was like, what's your family business? And she said, Usha Village. I said, do you know Dr. Sebi? She said, that's my dad.
Wow.
I got upset because I'm thinking it's one of my homeboys or homegirls who know I'm trying to get inside.
Playing a joke.
And I'm like, if this is a joke, it's not funny. She said, no, that's my dad. And I said, I've been trying to get in Usha for the last 4 or 5 days. And she said, come tomorrow. And that's how I got inside.
And you said when you met him, he felt like he was waiting for you.
That was something I still can't explain to this day.
Tell him what his mom told him.
He said, he asked me, I told him, what can you do for me? Oh no, he asked me, he said, what do you want? And then he was like, are you a Sagittarius? And I was like, yes, sir, I am. He said, is your mother a Pisces? And I was like, she was born March 15th. Yeah. He said, that's a Pisces. And he said, does your name start with an A and end with an O? And I was like, yes, it's Avalado. He said, I'm a Sagittarius. My mother's a Pisces. My name start with an A and end with an O. And then he asked me, my first job in America was in Martin Luther King Hospital. What do you have to do with Martin Luther King? I said, I graduated from Martin Luther King High School. And he said, I've been waiting for you for 30 years. My mom told me that someone was going to come whose name started with an A and ended with an O, but it wasn't going to be Alfredo, because his name is Alfredo. And the Mexican who healed him, name was Alfredo too. So and he was a Sagittarius. So everything was just lined up for him that way.
Right.
Wow.
So what was your first conversation, with healing your sister? And what made you a believer? Because a lot of people don't believe. But what
Actually, I was the most skeptical person in the world.
I was too when I met him.
That's what I was going to get to you. He wanted to come to the show because we was in Newark, New Jersey before one of his shows, and I was watching the Breakfast Club, and he said, oh, I know that guy. That's DJ Envy. And I was like, you know DJ Envy? I was shocked he knew you. He said, yeah, that's my friend. I know him. I interviewed with him. So I reached out to somebody, but you must have been in the mix because I wanted to see if he wanted to come here to the Breakfast Club.
We'd have loved to have him. I think we interviewed him like 3-4 times.
On Miss Jones' show, right?
On Miss Jones' show. And like I said, I wasn't a believer. And then just the stuff that he was able to do, and the vitamins at the time he was giving me just gave me so much energy, you know. And we lost touch. But so, what was that first conversation? What made you a believer?
What made me a believer was when I called my sister. We was on the road, and I called her, and she had just got the package from Dr. Sebi. At first, he told me, bring her to Honduras. And I was like, she's in the bed. She can't travel. She's not strong enough. So he was like, okay, give me her address, and we're gonna send her a package. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm like, my sister's been weak. She could barely talk on the phone. What a package gonna do? I actually thought we needed to fly her to Usha for some reason. He said no. He sent her intracellular chelation. He told first
what
thing
is that?
It's some herbs.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I learned about Dr. Sebi, healing lupus, healing AIDS, healing sickle cell anemia. These are diseases that I've seen him heal. These are people that I know all my life that had it and don't have it. And one thing I like about Dr. Sebi, he never told nobody, you have AIDS or you have lupus, you don't have AIDS, you don't have lupus. These people come with their doctors' paperwork telling him that they have AIDS, they have lupus, and then they come back with the same doctor's paperwork saying that they don't have those diseases. So that's one thing I liked about him. He don't diagnose anybody. Mm-hmm. That's one of the main reasons he was able to beat that case in 1987, because
he wasn't practicing medicine.
It was like he was curing you, giving you an apple or broccoli or something like that.
And you say he sent the package to your sister?
Sent the package to my sister. She got it. When I called her, she was like, hello. I was like, you got the package? She's like, yeah, I got it. Like, sounding real weak. So then my niece, Shanice, her daughter, she's reading the package, figuring out how to give it to her. I called back later on that night about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they answered the phone. And I thought it was my niece, Shanice. I was like, hey, put your mother on the phone. And she said, it's me, big head. What's in this stuff? So it was the guaco, I don't know exactly what's in the package, but it was a whole bunch of herbs that the liquid that he sent her, it resonated with her DNA immediately. She wasn't able to get out the bed yet, but from being in the bed for months, 2 to 3 weeks later, she was going up and downstairs. 2 months later, she was driving her kids to school.
Wow.
My sister's in Honduras right now. She's a 100% alkaline. She don't eat anything that nature didn't make.
She moved after?
Yeah, she moved.
She's like, I need to be in Honduras.
Yeah,
That's what, wow.
Because it's hard. It's hard to be alkaline in America when you like even the water that we drink. We got to drink it, but it's good water. But after a while, it being in plastic for a while, if it was in glass, it would last longer. But in Honduras, you're surrounded by natural fruits.
So who is Dr. Sebi passed? Who is the new healer? Like, because it's so everybody is. I learned from Dr. Sebi. I practiced under him. He told me. So who is the new person that people can go to? Because there's so many people.
Actually, Dr. Sebi was a master teacher. Like in my book, you're going to see I listed his legacy, like his wife, his daughters, his sons. Like I get my herbs from here in Brooklyn, right there by the Barclays Center. Ma'ah from the fig tree. That's like anything I need, I go over there. And his son in L.A., Abdul Bowman, KT, the arts degree, these are all people that came up under him. So among them, Isaiah, yep. I was just with Isaiah in L.A. the day before yesterday.
What's the sister name? I can't remember.
Which one?
With the low haircut? It's like the low, almost bald.
Kelly.
There you go.
Okay,
yeah.
Kelly's in Atlanta. So they in Atlanta, I just came back from LA with Isaiah. We went to Shack House, and just a beautiful experience.
Now, Nick Cannon is doing a documentary that Nipsey wanted to do.
Exactly. And Nick actually hired me. I'm one of the producers.
That's
and
good.
We went to Honduras.
He was fronting on you when I first connected y'all. A little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, he was?
Just a little.
All right, I got his number now.
Until he saw the footage, and I'm sure that's what changed everything.
Facts. So, and that's one of the things that I was blessed. Dr. Sebi would always call me and say, yo, Mr. G, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. He said, come over. I feel like talking. So I would just bring my camera, put it on a tripod, and just let him talk. And at the time, I wasn't even paying attention because, this man is alive. So I'm not thinking about everything he's saying. I'm like, it wasn't until he passed away I have over 320 gigs just of Dr. Sebi talking.
What is that? I mean, I know gigs are, but what is that? Just explain that to the average person. How many hours?
How many
is that?
hours? Yeah.
Damn. Well, I wouldn't know how many hours.
Yeah, it's a lot though.
There's a lot.
Over
It's a
100
lot. I
hours.
know it's been a month that I've been looking through them, and I still haven't seen everything.
A lot of the clips you see online now
Those are
of
just
Dr. Sebi, they come from you.
Yeah, those are just snippets that I put up.
And in your book, you tell the story about how he helped cure an athlete.
Yes.
Yes, of HIV.
Yes.
And
Was it magic?
That's a question I wish I could answer publicly, but that's a great guess. And
We asked Magic about that when he was here. Mm-hmm. He didn't. I don't think he confirmed or denied. I think he actually said he never met Dr. Sebi, if I'm not mistaken.
wow.
I don't
well, in the
remember.
think he
book,
said
it's a story about
I
a
gotta go back
person
and watch
who
it.
he did meet, and
That was like, I asked him about that athlete, and he was like, he got upset. I thought he got upset. He just stopped talking for a while. Then he started rolling the joint. I was about to leave thinking that, damn, I just put my foot in my mouth. So he just went into how this athlete was like, he didn't want to go to the studio because he didn't want nobody to see him. He set up a hotel room, and he was upset that he was able to do what he had to do for him, and then he didn't do what he promised to do
he
for
promised
him.
to give him some recognition.
Yes. Though Lisa Left Eye was one of the ones who nobody was going to deter her from saying what she had to say
About Dr. Sebi.
about Dr. Sebi, because
Which feeds into the conspiracy rumors that, anybody that does something on Dr. Sebi or speaks on Dr. Sebi meets an untimely demise. Lisa, car accident. Nipsey wanted to do a doc. He got killed. People feel like Dr. Sebi got killed. What's true, what's not true, and all of that stuff?
well, as far as I'm concerned, the government don't have anything to do with Dr. Sebi's death. Dr. Sebi, my personal opinion, and based on the information I gathered in Honduras, he was poisoned, and he's not going to eat from anybody that he don't trust.
Now he was in jail, right?
Yes, he was in
So
jail.
why was he in jail?
He was in jail, they said, for money laundering, but he has sold some, because he have like two keys of land in Roatan, which is in Honduras. He had sold a piece of that land. So he was traveling with some of that money. But it's not money laundering. He don't need to do that.
Now you said he rolled a joint, so he smoked weed.
Yes, I don't smoke weed, but Doc smoked. He would smoke weed in front of me like 4 or 5 times a day. That was his things.
And you said you think they poisoned him in jail?
He was in jail when they
When you mean
poisoned him.
poisoned him, like actually poisoned him, or
No,
gave him something to eat?
Actually gave him something to eat. Dr. Sebi went to sleep that night, August 5th, and didn't wake up. And he didn't wake up on
When he
anymore.
was in jail, did they give him like a special diet? And
All right, this is the thing. In Honduras, if you're in jail and you don't have family outside of the jail, you're not going to eat. It's not like the United States where over here they give them 3 meals, cable, gym. In Honduras, you in a cell, and if your family don't come feed you, you're not eating.
So why weren't they coming to feed?
They were.
that's what he's saying. Somebody
they
close
were
to him
coming
had to
to
have poisoned him because he wouldn't eat food from a stranger or someone he didn't trust.
Oh. Why would somebody want to kill Dr. Sebi? Why would one of his own people want to kill Dr. Sebi?
Dr. Sebi was putting together this herb that he called T10. He actually gave me some of those herbs. He gave Brother Polite, he was on your show before. He was a good friend of Dr. Sebi's as well. And these herbs, because his intercellular chelation that he gave my sister, those packages cost $1,500. So he was under the impression that everybody can't pay $1,500. He was like, if you spoke to him before, he was for anything he could do to help the people.
Right.
So this T10 costs $50. It can cure sickle cell anemia, lupus. These are the 2 that I know it cured already. I don't know about AIDS because I don't know anyone who had it. So to the people that's around him, even the people that's in his office now, for him to talk to anybody, they's losing money. Because why buy the milk if you get the cow for free? You get it? So Dr. Sebi was a teacher. Anywhere he go, he's not thinking about if something is wrong with you, I'm going to charge you an hour to talk to you. He would just talk to you. So to the people that's working with him, that's money you giving away.
Right.
How old was he when he passed away?
83.
3.
83.
You think,
And he had a son, David, that was 1. Tyra was 3, and he had a son that was born 3 months after he
I
passed
remember when he
away.
did the Breakfast Club, he just had a child, and I'm
He never
like,
He
did
never
Breakfast
did the
Club.
breakfast.
I mean, I'm sorry,
Club.
when he did the other morning show with Miss Jones. he
What year
just
was
had a
that?
child. I can't remember. That was the year I always tell everybody I seen him jump off this table and land on his knees. And I was like, there's
And you
no
tried to do
possible way.
it too.
No, I could never do it. I was like, there's no possible way anybody could jump off this and land on his knees and hop up like it was okay.
If you ever go to Honduras and see that man climb the mountains in the back of his house, I'm 50 now. I met Dr. Sebi when I was 44, and I couldn't keep up with him in those mountains. He was like a freak of nature.
You said even when you walked over, and the first time you went there, you saw young kids running around, and they were like, "Those are Dr. Sebi's kids."
His daughter, I said, "That's Dr. Sebi's daughter," and I just
3
started
years
laughing.
old.
Yeah, 3 years old, Tywa.
Do you think that the government might have gotten to somebody close to him to poison him?
No.
Not at all.
No, it was a situation. Well, in the book, you'll see that it was somebody. They wanted to give him his own TV show at one point, and the people who he was working with, they said, "No, we're not ready for that kind of exposure." So I don't know what's going on in his office. That why wouldn't you want this man to help the world?
Right.
So that
They wanted to profit off of that because they were his students, and they felt like everyone's going to go to him and get things for free because he wasn't concerned about people paying when I could be making all this money from being the person that's providing these cures for people.
yes.
He didn't believe in vaccines, correct?
No, not at all. I
remember he said that.
Not at all. He felt like even the flu shot, he said whatever they say they trying to prevent, they most likely putting it inside of you. Nah, he was not a vaccine person at all.
So how far along is the documentary now?
Nick actually, I would say we should be seeing some trailers by the summertime. Like we in post right now, interviewed some amazing people. What was good about this documentary, that traveling with Nick and sitting down through hearing these testimonials, I was able to, based on my conversation with Doc, I just added faces with stories. So he had an amazing memory. It just
I wish Nip would have been here to see that through. That would have been amazing.
yeah, I actually
Nip ever met him?
no, never met him. Nipsey was friends with his sons, Abdul Bowman and with Isaiah. And Nips actually, he reached out to me. Jill was trying to set up a meeting in L.A. So when he passed away, we was in the middle of that. Because they would tell him about this footage that I had of Doc.
And people were saying, "Oh, Nip got killed because he was making a documentary on Dr. Sebi."
If you go to L.A. and speak to the people in L.A., they're going to tell you Nip got killed because
Exactly.
you feel.
Not that.
Yeah. Not that because
So it's not this whole conspiracy that people try to
not
push
at all,
along.
not at all. Gang life, you can't really get away from that all the way. You know, he did a lot of good, and his moms, his family. Like I wish them the best, but you know, it is what it is.
He didn't have a cure over there for the coronavirus, right? There's nothing.
I have no idea.
I don't even think it existed.
Yeah, I don't think it existed.
So when it comes to vaccinations, right? You have to vaccinate your kids for them to go to school? Like, how does that work?
Well, I know in Honduras you don't.
But here in the United States.
Here in the United States, they wouldn't let me take my son out the hospital.
No, but sometimes you can get certain things to get around it because there's stories on it. But to go to school, I know people fight it. Like people fight the fact that they want their kids not to have it, but they're saying that if a student comes in without having those necessary vaccines, they can probably die if they catch it from somebody else. But I think you can fight it in certain states, though.
Well, I know here in New York you can't fight it.
Jersey neither.
You need that.
Right.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us, man.
That's right. My journey with Dr. Sebi is out right now. Where can they get it, Mr. G?
Oh, my journey with drsebi.com, or they could get it on Amazon. Like the books that I sent out from my journey with drsebi.com, those are the ones I personally sign out. So sometimes I send out T-shirts, or they could get it on Amazon.
Does it come with free CMOS still?
Nah, I wish it did.
All right. It's Mr. G. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.